What's up, guys? Your boy, 20K13. Gonna give you guys 5 up and 3 down from last night WWE NXT, August 26th. This comes from WhatCulture.com. This week's NXT broadcast was longer than normal and it includes matches that were taped prior to Saturday's Excellent Takeover Brooklyn event. The taping started at about 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time and lasted about an hour with the 4 matches that aired on this week's NXT show. Taping the show in Brooklyn gave NXT a much bigger feel than usual. While the Full Sail crowd in Orlando is usually live all night long, there are only about 500 people and it is nothing compared to having over 13,000 fans like they had in Brooklyn. While the show was pretty good like most NXT episodes are, they probably could have put on better matches and more significant ones as well. There was nothing on this show that felt like that big of a deal. Well, most weeks they found a way to build up at least one match or major story. It was still better than average though. Here are the results of the 4 matches from this week's show. Enzo Amore, Connor Cassidy, Zack Ryder, and Mojo Rawley defeated Jason Jordan, Chad Gable, Dash, and Dawson when Enzo got the pinfall on Gable after a top rope splash. Eva Marie defeated Carmella by pinfall. Bull Dempsey defeated Elias Sampson by pinfall. Emma defeated Charlotte, Dana Brooke, and Becky Lynch in a fatal 4-way match when Emma pinned Lynch. Here are 5 up and 3 down from this week's broadcast. Down. Number 3, Eva Marie and Carmella were rejected by the crowd. I thought Eva Marie did better in her match this week in terms of doing some other little things right, but Carmella was not the right opponent for her. When I watch Carmella wrestle, she really doesn't come across as being believable. That may be harsh against Carmella, but I also believe that she can be a great manager. She doesn't have to wrestle regularly in a role like that. So just keep her with Enzo and Cass in that role. She definitely has charisma and knows how to work the crowd. I just don't know if she can be much more than that. Another bad thing about the match is the crowd rejected it nearly the entire time they were out there. That really hurt the presentation of the match. After some brief offense by Carmella, Eva hit a jawbreaker and sliced bread for the win. WWE wants to push her big time, so of course she won. This match was a good reminder that NXT is a developmental wrestling show for a lot of these performers. Number 2, too many recaps and promo. The runtime on this week's episode was 1 hour and 24 minutes and 30 seconds. A normal episode is usually right at 59 minutes, so they added nearly a half hour of content this week. When the show is broadcast on WWE Network, it's easy to add more time to the show because WWE runs the thing and they don't have to answer to anybody about it. Where they ran into problems was that they spent most of the show doing recaps of things that happened at Brooklyn TakeOver. Chances are good that if somebody is watching the NXT Weekly show, then they have probably seen the Brooklyn TakeOver event because it was a big deal. Did they really need to have over 20 combined backstage interviews, recap of things from TakeOver, and video package hyping up the 4 women in the main event? It felt unnecessary. If they want to run the show longer than normal, that's fine. But in the future, I hope the reason for it is because of more in-ring content and less of everything else. Number 1, the ending of Diva 4-way match. What a mess. I feel bad for the women because they worked hard in the match and it was entertaining, but the ending was poorly executed. After Becky Lynch accidentally knocked down her PCB buddy Charlotte, it looked like Lynch was going to win the match with a suplex on Brooke. Emma saved Dana, then hit her running crossbody bot on Charlotte in one corner, and then Lynch in the other corner. Emma covered for the 1, 2, and 3. Apparently somebody was supposed to break up the pin attempt, or Lynch was supposed to kick out, which seemed like the more plausible explanation, because it's not like Emma hit her with a finishing move. Instead, Lynch stayed down and the ref counted the pin because they are instructed to call what's in front of them, even if a wrestler forgets to kick out. You can see the confused look on Emma's face after the match as well. The whole thing looked awful, but WWE decided to keep the finish instead of retaping it it in front of the big crowd. Up number 5, the Dusty Road Tag Team Tournament. What a great idea this is, since the late great Dusty Road was so beloved by his NXT kids, as he called them. It makes a lot of sense to run a tag team tournament while also putting his name on it as a tribute to the legacy he left behind. It was officially announced on Saturday Takeover Brooklyn show, but they provide us with more info during NXT this week when General Manager William Regal told Baron Corbin that he would be teaming up with Ryback against the Ascension on next week's show. They could use the tournament to either put over a young team that could use the momentum or perhaps use it as an opportunity to develop a new team that develop chemistry together and win the whole thing. What they do with the winner hasn't been announced yet, but it would make sense if they got a tag team title shot soon after the win as a way to put over the victory as being important. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in this tournament over the next month as it leads to the finale on the October 7th TakeOver show. Number 4, the excited Brooklyn crowd. This deserves its own point because this was the biggest crowd ever for a regular NXT show. WWE could have made Brooklyn TakeOver a 3-hour event and nobody would have had a problem with it. While the Full Sail crowd is very good and loves the product as much as anybody, that building only holds about 500 people. This arena had over 13,000 people there. WWE Live and said over 15,000, and they the kind of hardcore fans that want to see WWE products, so it's no surprise that they were into everything all night long. For some wrestlers, like Zack Ryder up above, the show was close to him and was such a fun experience for the time. WWE had to consider taping more NXT episodes inside big arenas. They don't want to screw over the fans at Full Sail that have helped build the NXT brand, but it's better for the show to be in front of the bigger crowd and better for the wrestler to get the experience of competing in a larger arena. Number 3, Bullfit for Bull Dempsey might work after all. The new and improved Bull Dempsey had a match in front of the hot crowd in Brooklyn, which was a smart idea because he's from Brooklyn. If anybody is going to help get over this gimmick, it's the Brooklyn crowd. The crowd even chanted Bullfit at some point. It's one of those clever plays on words that just so happen to rhyme with the much more popular bullshit word. WWE originally used Dempsey as a dominating heel early in his run. Then he lost a bunch and they had to reinvent him. All other skits he did where he was eating too much were part of his face turn. Then he was told to get in better shape, so when he competed in this match, he showed off his body, which looked better than it had before. Bull's opponent was the drifter Elias Sampson, who had a guitar with him. I'm not sure if this gimmick is going to work for him unless they spend some time trying to develop this character. It's too early to really judge him. Dempsey ended up winning the match in under 5 minutes with a splash off the rope. I think he has potential with this gimmick as a happy-go-lucky kind of face. It all depends on who he had a feud with and if he's able to have longer matches that show what he can do in the ring. Number 2, the best Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy entrance ever. It was very smart of WWE to start the Brooklyn taping with Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy in a match because they have the best introduction in WWE. Plus, they are both from New York, so the crowd was even more excited to see them in person. This was the biggest crowd they ever performed in front of, so it was great to hear just how loud the response was to their "How You Doing" entrance as well as all the other fun stuff they say. The ending with Dolph was so loud too. Some people thought that WWE made a mistake by not putting them on the TakeOver Brooklyn special. I agree with that a bit, but showing the intro on NXT this week made up for it. It's going to be very interesting to see how things go for them when they make it to the main roster and how long it might take for the crowd to chant along with them during their introduction. It probably won't happen right away, but in time they can definitely win over the worldwide audience just like they have the NXT universe as WWE like to call it. And number one, NXT tag teams have a very bright future. The opening match was our longest match this week. It saw the aforementioned Enzo Cass tagging with the Hype Bros duo of Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley. It's weird that Ryder is in developmental, but it's better than not being used on Raw. They took on the heel team of Jason Jordan and Chad Gable, as well as Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder. As expected, the crowd was really hot for it due to the terrific intro by Enzo Cass as well as the popularity of the Ryder Rawley team. It was nice to hear Gable getting a really good response too. He's a former Olympic wrestler that's been booked as a quirky heel who has a lot of confidence in himself. The Orlando crowd loved him, so did the fans in Brooklyn. Every Enzo Cass match is pretty much the same thing with the smaller Amari getting worked over by the crowd while Cass makes the hot tag. When Cass was on the apron, the fans were cheering for him loudly, and when he got the hot tag, the fans exploded in excitement. Enzo ended up getting the pin for his team. What this match showed is not only are NXT tag team popular with the crowd, they can put on an entertaining match as well. Give them a chance and they'll put on an exciting match, just like they did here. Well, that is, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys on the next one. Peace.